Hey guys, welcome back to the 26th episode of Let's Play Space Engineers as a German engineer. I'm Daniel, I've been born and raised in Germany, and I've been living and working as a software engineer for the last 10 or so years in the San Francisco Bay Area, Silicon Valley. Last episode, we kind of touched up a bunch of stuff. We made the mobile mining rig, we added the catwalks, we added additional lights, we added a bunch of stuff, including a dock for our cargo ship. And this is where I want to tie in this time. I want to automate the mobile mining rig more. Meaning, right now it sits back there and it's collecting resources and all of that is great. But we have no means to getting all these ingots that we're collecting and processing there back to our primary base or any other base, that, as a matter of fact. So a few episodes ago, we did build a cargo ship that we've used to bootstrap our iSpace. And I think I want to piggyback on that cargo ship and turn it into a drone. What that means is I want to put a remote control block in it and set up a automated kind of path for the ship to fly to the cargo, for the ship to fly to the mining rig, and then fill up with resources there, and then fly back to the main base and unload them there, and then rinse and repeat. So that's the idea. That way we won't have to kind of build any conveyors to the mobile mining rig or anything like that. And when we eventually move the mobile mining rig, we'll be able to also kind of update the flight path of the drone to fly to the new location instead of wherever it is. And so then the last point here is to build more MMRs and drones. I might need more drones to even service just one MMR. I'm not entirely sure what the throughput will be. But eventually, I'm pretty sure I would want to have more mobile mining rigs. And then I will need more drones to service those mobile mining rigs. And the idea is that I don't want to manually build additional mining rigs and drones. That's a lot of work and will take a long time. So instead, I want to look into building a 3D printer. So the idea is that I will use welders attached to a movable kind of arm or head or something that then when and utilizing a projector, I will then move the welder in relation to the projector. And I'm not entirely sure exactly how I want to do this, if I'm going to move the projector or if I'm going to move the welder or how many welders I have or how big this whole thing is going to be. But so the idea is that I just load something into the projector, hit a button, and then this thing that's in the projector will get printed, essentially. I have a couple ideas how I want to approach that, but for now I'll leave it at that. And when we actually get to it, I can talk a little bit more about what my approach will be. So, cool. Let's work on the cargo ship, turning that into a drone. I've never done this, so I need to explore a little bit. I know I need a remote control block, and I think I need some cameras and yada yada yada, but we'll figure it out and then just go from there. Let's get to the cargo ship. So I will need to add cameras and remote control blocks. One remote control block specifically, and probably a couple cameras. Oh, and an antenna. Yes, we'll also need an antenna. Okay. So let's see here. This is the remote control block. The light needs to face forward, if I understand correctly. Just need to figure out where to put it. Okay, I think I want to put it right here. I removed one of these decorative blocks. There you go. And then maybe I'll put the antenna right there. Okay, there's an antenna, and then we need some cameras. Okay. So let me quickly see if I can now remote control this. I see. I think it's showing me this as mobile mining rig. The mobile mining rig doesn't have a antenna, so this, because they're docked probably. Okay, I'm connected to what is labeled as the mining rig antenna or remote control, but I believe this is this connected chip ultimately, but we'll see. I've populated the control bar. I have all the essential things on there. The battery is already on auto. The landing gear is unlocked. I do need to disconnect the connector, and I need to turn on the thrusters, and I need to turn on the thrusters just before I disconnect the connector, because if I turn on the thrusters, this will start clanging very violently. The ship. So let's do this in quick succession and hope that we remain in control of the ship after we disconnected the connector, because there's a possibility that it will disconnect. So we'll see. There we go. Yes, we still have control. Okay, perfect. Let's put the other cameras. Go 6 forwards. There we go. We may want to put one on the other side as well, just for good measure so we can see better. Let's see the backwards, the good view, and downwards. Okay. Okay, let's land it again. There you go. Cool, so we can remote control it. That's a good first step. There's 2 things that I need to do. I need to figure out how to set up the actual remote control, like automating it, autopilot kind of stuff. That's 1. And 2 is I need to... it's been a while since I built this. And I think I built it such that I can fill up both cargo containers with iron bars, steel bars, is it iron bars? Basically fill them up with material without having to worry about weight, but I'm not 100% sure. So I want to test that out. And I will actually... This is going to be a little bit tricky, because if it doesn't work, I may have a problem. So... Here's a lot of iron. Large cargo container. Fill that up. That's 123,000 iron. And here's some more. Okay. Let's just fill it up to the brink, because I don't actually know. Yeah. That is a total of 240, 250, 260, roughly 260,000. So, if my ship weighs 300 tons, which I think each iron ingot is, yeah, 1 kilogram, 260,000, and the ship itself weighs something. I'm actually not quite sure. Maybe 30 tons or something like that. I should be able, just barely, to lift this off the ground. So, I guess we'll give it a shot. Okay, it's barely getting off the ground, yeah. Oh. That was a hard landing. Oh, I hope I didn't break everything. Let's dock it again. I didn't actually dock it. Turned off the thrusters. Okay. Dock. Turn off thrusters. I'm ruining everything here. Okay, there's a bunch of stuff broken. Let's fix it. Okay. I think it's repaired. Wasn't too bad. It was only the landing gear and a couple of batteries a little bit scratched. So, for now, what I will do is I will see if I can get one of the cargo containers, quote-unquote, offline. Okay. Okay, leave it empty for now. I just want to see if I can get this ship to fly back and forth with this one cargo container empty. I think I read somewhere at some point, or got told somewhere, that when I set up a flight path, I should do it using the remote control and not sitting in a cockpit. So that's what I'm going to do. Let's see here. It's remote control. Autopilot is... I can't toggle it. I assume I can't toggle it because I haven't set up any waypoints. So my guess is I should start here. I should put this down as a waypoint. So copy, is that how you do it? No? Oh wait. These are my GPS locations. GPS. Drone 1. Waypoint 1. MMR. So this is... I have this one here, so I can add this one as the first waypoint. Yeah. So I don't know how granular I need to do this. But let's turn on the thrusters. Unlock. Go up. Let's say we have one waypoint up here. New from current. Above MMR. I don't know if that makes sense to have like a intermediate waypoint like this here. And then we'll add this one. Didn't save it, did I? Oh no. Where is it? Copy the clipboard. Yes. There it is. I'm not quite sure I understand how... Oh. This was deleted up here as well? I'm not quite sure I understand this. Add. Add. I see I can set up actions when I reach those waypoints. Okay. That's useful. Is this like a... Okay, there's a whole toolbar. Okay. Let's fly over here. Uh-oh. Okay, let's do it differently. My antenna doesn't have enough range, clearly. Let's use the base's antenna. That should have a little bit more power. There we go. Let's set another waypoint. Above base. Let's copy the clipboard. Yeah, it wipes the way. Okay, maybe I need to create them all first. I'm not quite sure how this works, frankly, or whatever. There we go. This is gonna be another waypoint, I guess. Base. Copy. Paste in here. Okay, now add this one. Add this one. Add this one. Add this one. Let's do speed limit a little bit lower for now. Precision mode. Probably on. Collision avoidance. Probably on. But I still cannot turn on autopilot. Okay, let me quickly see if I can find out why I cannot activate autopilot. Okay, so I think what it might be is that I was remote controlling it, and I cannot be remote controlling it. So, so now, cargo ship remote control. Autopilot, yes. Okay. Shall we give this a try? Oh, I'm a little nervous. Okay, let's go. Okay, so that's current waypoint. Let's run upstairs. Let's run upstairs! Oh yeah, it's definitely trying to fly, but it's still docked. So let's undock it. Unlock. Let's go. So far, doesn't look horrible what it's doing. And the lift now crashes. It's way too fast. Oh, okay. Okay. That's good. Okay, but what is happening now? It takes a very long time here. Is it gonna come down? Or what? It's trying to fly to the first, which is okay. Let me intervene here. It is a little bit concerning that it doesn't seem to be able to get there. But remote access, control. That didn't work. Maybe I can't while autopilot is on. Let's turn off autopilot. Okay. Let's land it. There we go. Lock. What was that? Oh. This is annoying. I mean, we may just have to turn off the engines like actually really quick. Okay. Let's try this again. Remote control. Turn on autopilot. So we need to turn on the thrusters. But that might clang us, right? Yes. We'll just also need to undock the connector. Yeah, it's rising to the above base 1. Okay, I think it reached it. I think it flies over to the next one. Okay, it's coming. It's sinking. So I think it is. Yeah, it's coming down. Now it's not coming down at all anymore. Yeah, it's trying to fly to the base now. But it seems to be stuck. Can I change some of the settings while it's in flight? Precision mode is off. I see. Collision avoidance off. It didn't actually do anything. Oh, where is it going? Is it flying back? Did it give up? Or does it think it reached its point?
Energy low.
Oh, that's scary. The speed at which it came in. Yeah. It seems to be not going to the correct waypoint, frankly. It's stopping rather consistently above where it needs to be, above the connector. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. And the positioning that it, like, when it arrives, it has pretty good consistent positioning. It's not in the right position, clearly. But it seems to be consistent. It's like right in the same spot every time. Yeah, it's the same spot every time. Autopilot off. Oh, this is gonna be more complicated than I thought it would. Not ready to give up yet, though. Okay. Now it's just a one-way trip. One-way meaning this is the first waypoint, and it's the second waypoint, and it should stop at the second waypoint. So one problem I suspect with this waypoint here, when it comes here, it'll look for this waypoint facing this direction, which will definitely put it in the wrong position. Although it does turn around. It is the right spot. Except for that it's too high, really. Yeah, it's not actually stopping at the waypoint. It's stopping like way above the waypoint. Let me dock it before we run out of battery. How much battery do we have left? None? Oh gosh. Okay. Connect. While it's charging, I'm gonna do a little bit more research to figure out what's going on.
One eternity later.
Okay, I've done a little bit more research. I'm partially smarter, I guess. In particular, what I read is that when setting the GPS coordinates, and I will test this in a few seconds, it will create the center of the remote control block. But when it's actually flying the ship, it tries to fly the center of mass to that GPS coordinate. So ideally, what that would mean is you would want to have the remote control block at the center of mass of your ship, so that those two things always align. If that is the case, then this will be impossible for me to do. Since I'm pretty sure the center of mass of the ship is somewhere between these two cargo containers, depending on how full they are, I guess. And I can't stick a remote control block there. Now, I want to test a couple things quickly. So first of all, I'm going to remote access this, take control of it, and set a waypoint, and I want to see if the waypoint is created exactly where that remote control remote controller is. And then I want to fly it one way and see if its center of mass stops right on that point. And lastly, there's an option to show the center of mass, right? Show center of mass. Yeah, so in theory, that's where the center of mass is for this grid. So we'll test this to establish for sure if this is what's going on. So let's remote control it. Remote access. Here it is. Okay. Control. Okay, now we'll create a GPS coordinate. New concurrent. Test. Okay, and then disconnect fully. Yeah. So, where's test? There. Yes, it is indeed right in the center of this. Okay, so now let's it's indeed right in the center of the remote control block. So now let's see here. If let's remove these here for now. Let's add the test waypoint. By the way, I'm not quite sure how populating these GPS locations works. Sometimes when I create new GPS points, they show up. Sometimes they don't. I don't know. Add. Right? Yeah, okay. So now... Okay. Just get this a little bit off the ground. Terminal. Yep. I think the rest is fine. Then let's turn on autopilot. Nothing's happening. I'm not quite sure why it sometimes does that. We'll turn it off, and we're just gonna fly it away a little bit. And now turn it on. I want to turn on. There we go. And now the question is, will it position its center of mass exactly on the test waypoint? Currently, it does not look like that. Currently, it seems like the remote control block is aligned with the test waypoint. For sure, it just arrived. What's going on? This is, I find this confusing. I find this incredibly confusing. It's definitely not the center of mass. And it seems to be aligned in this direction and in the other direction. I am not sure. I'm not sure. I'm trying to think, like, what could be causing this, and I just can't. Can't figure it out. I did not expect this to be such a struggle. I think I have to go into creative to figure this out. Let Let me do that. I'll go into creative and see if I can figure this out. I don't understand why it's just spinning. Like, the remote control block is right over the center of mass. I mean, it's not in the center of mass, but it's above it. The connector is right underneath. This should just... Yeah, I don't know.
One eternity later.
Okay, so I think I figured it out. I haven't tried it with the cargo ship in the actual survival world yet, but this seems to be working. So, and not because of the ship design, at least not technically. So let me show you this first. So we're gonna demonstrate that it's... Let's turn off precision mode here. Let's make sure that waypoints are reset. Okay, and this is gonna be a little bit of a rough landing, possibly because of reasons. But turning autopilot on, there's an approach point here, which we will fly to first, and then we'll turn on precision mode once it has reached its approach point, and then fly to the connector point. And then it won't actually dock, but it will land there. Okay. Right? So, this is great. So why does this work now? And I had struggled in here with this design to get this to work as well. And the reason... Let me get it off of this thing here again. It's actually nothing... It is something about the design of the ship in some way. But it's not what you would think. At least it's not what I was thinking. Okay. And it's a really small thing, but it's really important, apparently. So the thing is, for most people building drones, if they built them in space, they would never notice this. And would never be a problem. But it is a problem for atmospheric drones. I have one downwards firing thruster on this. If I remove this downwards firing thruster and instruct this drone to do the exact same approach again in the exact same way, just if we actually go and turn on the autopilot here, you will immediately notice that just reaching the approach will be more of a struggle. It starts spinning around. It goes down very, very slowly, and it at some point might even get stuck and not go all the way down. It might go all the way down, but it's very inconsistent. When I came up with that theory that it might be downwards firing thrusters, I added 4, and then it immediately worked, and I removed 3 of them, and just left 1, and it still worked, no problem. But as soon as you remove the last one, this is what you end up with. It just spins and spins, and... this game. Okay. With that, equipped with this knowledge, that we do need at least 1 downwards firing thruster for the remote control autopilot function to work correctly. Let's go back into the survival world and see if we can fix the cargo hauler. See you in a couple of minutes. Okay. So much work. Yeah, we'll wait until this the batteries are charged up a little bit more before we actually fly it, but we can attach a downwards firing thruster somewhere. Okay, I'll wait until the batteries have charged a little bit, and then we'll give it a shot. So we have 50% battery. That should be enough for our little test here. So we'll fly it back a little bit, and then we'll have it approach the test point here. Go. Okay, here's the trip coming. It's aligned with this here, except for that came in a little bit quick. That is fine. Okay, so now let's dock it. Okay, new from current position. Yeah, I think we will do an approach point, so I can reduce the speed and whatnot. Let's put it here. Yeah. And then do the same thing over here. Actually, we'll do differently over there. I'll fly it over quickly. Yeah. It needs to be oriented the other way to actually... So I'll put the approach point on this side. That's probably fine. Approach. And we'll make this one MMR. And then delete this one. Access. Oops. Terminal. Remote. And we'll do base approach first. And then base. Then MMR approach. And then MMR. Okay. And then speed limit we'll set to 6 for now, in general. And when it reaches the approach point, we'll reduce the speed limit. Reduce speed limit. And we'll turn on precision mode. And then when we reach the base, turn precision mode off and increase the speed limit. And then we'll do the reverse on the MMR approach. So this should fly back and forth. No problemo now. Let's see. Autopilot on. Okay. Cargo ship is approaching. Okay. That's looking good. Nice and slow. Boom. And now it's returning. Right? Did I have it to one way? Why is it not? I probably have it on one way, but should still... Oh, I think it... Oh, I see. I see. It is landing gear. Let's turn the auto lock off on the landing gear. Let's see how it fares on the way back. Okay. It's coming in here now to the approach point over here. Okay. Now it comes around. And I think it's still on one way, right? So that should actually Yeah, that should be the end here. Not quite. And I think the reason... Not sure if I did correctly set the GPS point. Okay. So one thing I'm wondering, if I turn off autopilot as an action here, is it already? Yeah. Remote control on this, on base, sort of actions, turn off autopilot. Can I then just go and turn it back on again and it will continue on? Or will it get disrupted by turning it off here? Let's actually, while we're at it, put this in some block groups. Okay, autopilot turned off, as I wanted. So, remote control, turn back on, and will it fly back? Yes. Although, oh, yeah, okay. Perfect. Okay, I didn't, when it left, it got a little bit kind of like knocked, and which resulted in it being a little bit misaligned. When it leaves, we should turn off as part of the leave sequence. Like, I just pushed the turn on autopilot, but that could turn off the connector, that action. So the landing gear is off, so the landing gear will not accidentally attach. Yes, this is the problem. It's reasonably well aligned with the... or perfectly aligned even, maybe, with the spot here, but the ship is not... is not aligned. Okay. Let's send it back. Okay, let's put a timer block on here. We'll call it on dock timer block. Turn on the autopilot. Turn the ship connector off. And then in the approach actions, I'll need to turn the connector on. And then the other one as well. So now I should be able to use the on-dock block, on-dock timer block, and do trigger now. And now it shouldn't be misaligned in relation to this here, but it might still be misaligned in relation to this over here. And I'm not 100% sure how I will be able to, because this entire rig is not aligned. So we may need to figure out how we can gravity align the connector, which honestly, like with these hinges, we should be able to do mostly. We may need to add another hinge. But where is it? Did it fall out of the sky? Please don't. Oh, here it's coming. Clearly the speed wasn't updated correctly. Okay, let's see. Let's put it to 21. Yeah, I think we will need to align this somehow. We can either align the connector, I guess, or we need to figure out if we can align the ship. My guess is that this is what gravity alignment would be, right? The ship is, when it comes down, it's gravity aligned. Yeah, let me see if I can get this here a little bit more aligned. I should send this back. So, just sent the ship back. Let's get the connector on here. Now we just need to align the two, basically. Although I probably should turn this around and just bring it a little bit lower. Like so. This hinge needs to extend a little bit more. Upper limit is something like -40 then. That's like roughly level. And then this hinge here is a little bit to the left. 1 degree? No. 1 degree. There we go. Let's finish the connector. Okay, so this is connected, and then remote access it, control, GPS, new current position, this one delete. So I should redo the approach point because clearly this is now pointing the other direction, so I would want to approach from here. Using myself here is fine instead of the ship. Doesn't need to be super precise. Let's undock. Let's see here. It might be approaching too quick. Maybe the speed increases were too much. Let's send it the other way. It's gonna work. It's coming in better than I expected. Nice. Yes. I wasn't sure if this was going to work, but it appears like it. So, this is good. I want to do one change here, and the change I want to do is actually, I want to move this approach point a little bit, I think. Part of the problem here is that the approach point is simply not in a good position. Bring him home. Hello, drone ship. Whoa, coming in hot. I'm gonna hop in here, move from Kern. Also, another approach point a little bit further out, just so that we don't have anything stupid happen. Okay. Wish there was a way to copy these actions. I guess if they all were in a timer, timer block, I could just put the timer block in here. Since I'm going to like change all of these waypoints in the future multiple times again, I am going to just put these timer blocks on here now. It'll make it easier moving forward to change the waypoints, because I don't have to set up all the different actions on the waypoints. I'll set up these actions on these timer blocks, and then the only thing I'll do is to set up the timer block on the action. Okay. Reset waypoints. Autopilot on. Okay. And can we leave? Oh. Aggressive approach. Okay. Is precision mode on? And I don't think the speed limit is correctly set. What's the speed limit? 21. Okay, let's send it and check the speed limit again. Check the speed limit after it has arrived at the approach. It's 6. Oh, I see. It should be 1. Yeah. Because it was still set to 21. It reduced it by 15 and increased it by 15 and brought it from like 21 to 6. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Much slower now with the new speed limit. That's fine. We might want to increase it to 2 to just have it move a little bit faster. But if this makes it more reliable, then that's fine as well. We probably want to have the approach points higher up. Now, like, seeing how the ship wants to go up to approach. Like, to get to the last point. I think that would make sense. This is awesome. I think this means that the ship is actually now flying. Well enough. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna... Oh, wait. Actually, I should do it the other way around, right? We'll actually want to bring some material over here. And then let's leave. And then over here I'll load it up. And then if that works, I will have to figure out cargo. So specifically here, I need to be able to replace this conveyor here, I think, with the sorter, without everything falling apart. So I need to make sure of that. And I'll clean this up once everything is done. There we go. It's perfect. Let's lock. And then load it up. Are we gonna fill it all the way up? Should we try that? Can I sit in here? Yes, I can. I'll keep Alt engaged. Just so that I don't accidentally steer anything. Which I'm not sure I can. But here we go. Okay, we're coming down. There we go. Lock. And unload everything. Can we use this? We can. Wait. Here. Boom. Nice. Perfect. Now we only need to do auto unloading and set a timer for flying back and forth. We're gonna assume for now that we only want to move material in one direction. So in this case, out of the vehicle and over there into the vehicle. Especially here at the base that we might actually want to move stuff into the vehicle at some point as well, but we do also have this dock over here if we need to. So we have, if we need to get stuff into a vehicle, like a large amount, we could probably do it somewhere else if we had to. But how are we going to do this here? So we've put a sorter here, then pointing up, then we can't get material into these pipes and into this cargo container anymore. We have these assemblers down here. We could run a pipe up here and have it come like up here somehow, and then not have this go down here, but come down here. And then this cargo container is... We could probably put it in the floor. Like right here. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. So this is just gonna become a cargo container. Okay, so we have a conveyor sorter. I have already configured it to whitelist ingots and drain all. So when this ship docks with ingots loaded, it should automatically unload them. And I've rerouted this pipe. It's a little bit squiggly now, but it's fine. So yeah. I think now I'll send this guy back and do the same thing, like place a conveyor sorter for loading on the other side, and we'll see if that works. And then once we have loading and unloading done, and we can send it back and forth, then we can automate the whole process using a couple more timer blocks. So let's get that going. Let's send it over. Trigger now. So while it's the ship is incoming here, the way I think that I need to, so there I have one conveyor pipe here, a straight pipe that I can replace with a conveyor sorter. I just need to make sure that something else is holding on to everything. So let's take off this block here quickly. So I'm not sure if these corner blocks are sufficient. So I'm gonna replace this with the regular block for now. This one should hold this all together. Okay. And now, let's double check. Are we loading up? Something's happening. Yeah, that looks good. Awesome. It's full. So now, let's send it home. Trigger now. Okay. That is awesome. Okay. Dock. And it should be unloading now, right? Yep. It's unloading. Perfect. Oh, this is amazing. This is so cool. Nice. Okay. The only thing left is automating sending it back and forth. So the way that I want to do this is after it has arrived, it should trigger a timer block a few seconds later. And that timer block will lock the ship and potentially turn off the engines. Here's the thing. If I possibly can, if I can get away with not turning off the engines, I will not turn off the engines. Even if that might mean that at least over there, while unloading and loading, it might be wasting energy on the MMR. The reason being, if this automation goes wrong, and at some point the cargo ship doesn't correctly dock, and it's not correctly connected, if I turn off the engines, then it will just come crashing down. And that's no good. No bueno. So, after it has arrived, I want to put a timer block that will dock the ship. That I want to give it a couple of seconds though before actually locking the connector. The main reason being if it might need to still be pulled in, or like will bounce around a little bit for like a second or whatever when it arrives. So I want to give it a little bit of like a few seconds, like maybe 2-3 seconds of delay there before actually locking this. If I make a leave right now without unlocking the connector, will that work, or do I need to explicitly unlock the connector? Trigger now. No, that works. Okay. Then in that case, I won't need to. I actually don't need a separate leave timer block in addition to the undock timer block in addition to the leave timer block. So I will only need another timer block for the docking maneuver, for locking the thing basically. So I'll quickly do that. So one thing I just noticed, I use this cow container here a lot for just refilling my hydrogen bottle and stuff like that, and all the material is being pumped straight into this. It's probably also going to be pumped. I mean, not probably, but it is going to be pumped into this refinery here, and so it's probably going to clog up that refinery as well. Not that we have a great use for this refinery anymore, given that we don't have mining here anymore locally. I may have to like reroute this stuff here at some point, especially since I don't really need the refinery here anymore. I can probably get rid of it and just put conveyor there instead, and then have that stuff go directly into large cargo containers. Okay, let's quickly check here. The drone has arrived. So I'm gonna put it on a 3-second delay. And the only thing I think that I need to do here is lock the connector. And then start the leave timer. And now I need to make sure that the leave timer, the main concern here is going to be the batteries, for recharging the batteries. I may have to experiment with. 10 minutes is probably too much. Actually, let's do 3 minutes. I have a feeling this is going to be enough. One last thing though, the arrive timer block needs to also start the dock timer block. Yeah. So when it arrives, then 3 seconds later it will dock. So I think now, the ship should have. Oh no, we need to dock it. Okay. So let's dock it. The leave timer block. We just trigger this now. Did we fully load it? Is it fully loaded up? Yeah, it's fully loaded up. So once it's docked, I'll go and check out the batteries and see if they are charging. Okay, so like it should dock now. Yeah, there we go. It docked. And now it'll be docked for 3 minutes. And it says fully recharged in 2 hours. Okay. I was hoping there would be more juice coming in here. So in that case, 3 minutes is probably not going to be enough. So I think the problem, part of the problem here is that the set to auto, and that's the charge level of the base right now that this is on. So ultimately, I think we might need some more power generation at the base. And we need some more batteries that they can fill up and then quickly recharge this. Like I think if we have enough power at the base, we should be able to very quickly charge the drone. So that's really the bottleneck then here. I haven't been paying attention how long ago we docked, but I think we should be approaching takeoff time soon. Actually, a time... Oh, there we go. I was going to check if one of the timer blocks was blinking. Then... Bye-bye, drone. And I will just wait here and see if it does its thing all by itself. Look who's coming home. Now the question is it loaded with goodies? It is loaded with goodies. Also, I thought about this a little bit more. If the drone ship can successfully approach and land and dock on both ends several times without ever having any trouble, I may turn off the thrusters and possibly even put the battery to recharge upon approach, like once docked. If the ship reliably docks on both ends. There we go. Okay. Turn cargo ship into drone. Done. Set up cargo route between drone and MMR. We did that. We did both the waypoints and we did the unloading. We did not build more MMRs or drones, and we haven't built a 3D printer. I guess I was a little bit optimistic for this, but we can do that next time. The only thing I think that we still would want to do eventually is reroute the output here, so that it goes straight into our large cargo containers instead of into our refinery and storage and small cargo containers. And then clean up the MMR, the docking part. And then if this here works reliably, switch it over to actually turn off the thrusters. Other than that, thanks a lot for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. It greatly helps with the YouTube algorithm. And if you want to see more like this, make sure to subscribe. I upload Space Engineers videos twice a week, and there's lots of other stuff to explore on the channel. And if you know somebody who might enjoy this video too, please make sure to share it with them. That's the best way to help the channel grow. Other than that, I appreciate your time, and thanks for watching my video. See you guys next time.